All right, we're going to keep this Sunday service moving. The next comic coming at you is a man of questionable morals. He's so nice, I introduced him twice. It's Gabe Baldizzi.
Do I need that?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You want me to clip it on?
Yeah, can you?
That's harder than I thought. Here we go. Are you good?
Thank you. That wasn't an awkward start at all. How we doing tonight, guys? I hope everyone's having a good week. I'm having a great week myself. This week I had my first threesome. Thank you. Well, full disclosure, I fingered a pregnant lady. But I think that should still count, right? Come on, someone give me some dap. No? That's okay. The baby did. It's good to be back here at Tubby's. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed. I thought there'd be more fat women here. The name Tubby's was a bit misleading. I love fat women. Think about it, no inflated sense of self, always down for French toast the next morning. I've got friends that'll say shit like, oh, I can't mess with big girls. Too many folds. Too many folds? That might be the gayest complaint that I've ever heard. Too many folds? You mean more vaginas? You're telling me that I get a nice side pussy to play with while I'm in the main pussy? A fupa to balance my coffee on. When I do missionary, I want it to feel like I'm laying belly first on a waterbed. I got one person out there that agrees with me. I guess the rest of you hate fat people. That's fine. You know, I wasn't always like this with the bigger women. On a somewhat more serious note, I had severe body dysmorphia when I was a kid. I know that it's wrong, but when I used to see those commercials of those starving children in Africa, I'd say to myself, man, I wish I was that black. On a slightly different note, this girl I took out to dinner the other night told me that my glasses are giving gay. Which I can't stand when women talk with that social media TikTok vernacular. Like it's giving dull, or it's giving weird. My glasses are giving gay? It's funny that you'd say that, you know, because this date, it's giving separate checks. It's giving no second date. My glasses are giving gay. Your vibe is giving cunt. Yeah, getting back out there is tough. I've started using this Latina dating app called Chispa. I haven't gotten any matches yet, but when I do, I already know the perfect first date. I'm gonna bring them to one of those rage rooms. That way I know what I'm in for when I inevitably cheat on them. I did used to use Tinder, but then one day I matched with this Mongolian chick. I went down on her, and then I proceeded to have the worst sore throat that I've ever had for the next 2 weeks. Yeah, I think she had coronaginous. All right, those last two were just for me. If you couldn't tell by this point, I am fairly jaded. I think my father's a big part of the reason for this. In hindsight, I think my father's a big part of the reason why I do stand-up. Not that he was super encouraging or anything like that. More so that he used to watch porn in front of us. And that's enough to make anyone start seeking alternative sources of validation. Yeah, you know, most kids growing up, they watch Friday Night SmackDown with their father. Not us. We were watching Monday Night Raw. To be fair, I think my stepfather is also part of the reason why I'm like this. I love my stepdad, John, but he's the definition of a person that overshares. Like, I'll never forget the year he coached my Pee Wee football team. One practice, some of the kids on our team are fearful of getting tackled, like avoiding getting hit. And this is when John goes, come on, I can take a piercing through the tip of my dick, but you guys can't take a hit with a helmet and pads on? Mid-Oklahoma drill, we all just stopped, like, I'm sorry, what's up? What did you just say? We're not gonna just brush past that. John then goes on to explain that he got this piercing for a porno that he was in, that his porn name was the Dick of Death. Again, this was Pee Wee football. We're all like 9. I realized I'm never going to be able to look at my mom the same way again. It's bad enough knowing that your mom's getting dicked down, but now I know she's taking on the Dick of Death. That's such an intense name, dude, the Dick of Death. That's like the Ring of Fire, which is what we called my mom when he gave her BD. Also, to this day, I have no clue what John was going for. Did he think that we were going to have this Remember the Titans team rally moment where one of us goes, you know what? John's right, guys. If he could triumph that Prince Albert cock piercing, then we could do anything. You know, with all that being said, I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to besmirch the man. With everything that John has done for my family and I, that man truly is like my dad. Except because his porn name was the Dick of Death, I do call him my dad. Sorry. Sip break. I will say this, I have now noticed because of John's influence, my whole family tends to overshare, myself included. Like just last week, I found myself explaining the concept of stuck porn to my mom and John. Well, more so just explaining it to my mom, because obviously, you know, John knows what's up. John knows what's hot in these streets. Anyways, I'm explaining stuck porn to them when they ask me if I know what a vajankle is. And I say, no, what's that? And they say, Google it. Do you guys know what a vajankle is? No. All right, this is what we call Gabe's favorite part of the show. Let me explain. A vajankle is like this new type of pocket pussy. So you know how there used to be the fleshlight? Yeah, except the vajankle is like a foot with a hole where the ankle would be. Yeah, so instead of fucking a flashlight, that way you're fucking a foot. You know, that way it's not weird or nothing. Ah, look at that. Who would have thought? No shit. That was fucking lucky as hell, I'm not gonna lie. I gotta say, this has been a very fun show so far. I love comedy shows, 'cause, you know, you get all these different comedians up here, different perspectives and views. I remember the last show I was on, there was these comedians claiming things during their sets, like, I'm abstinent, or I'm celibate. And I'm not gonna lie, I got kind of jealous, because, like, I hadn't been getting laid either, and I didn't know we could pretend it was our choice. I wish I had thought of that. That's fucking brilliant. By the way, I apologize if I'm like a bit lethargic up here tonight. I don't know about you guys, but I am still full from that meal 3 days ago. I don't even smoke cigarettes anymore, but never in my life have I felt like I needed one more than post that Thanksgiving meal. Not because of the food, I just hate my family, but I will say, I don't think that we give the Native Americans enough credit for getting white people hooked on cigarettes. That was kind of like the ultimate chess move. Because think about it, Columbus pulled up, right? And he was like, this is our land now. You guys are coming on the boats back to London with us. And the Native Americans had the foresight to just play the long game and go, okay, but first hit this. It's good for your spirit. And white people have just been dying of lung cancer since. I like to imagine that the natives were on the boat back to London, just kind of scheming, like, all right, phase 2, casinos. I was thinking it would be cool if instead of American spirits, they had African American spirits. But then I realized that already exists and they're called Newports. I actually, on the topic of cigarettes, I got in trouble at my job because I had this regular that would constantly complain about the price of cigarettes. So finally one day I said, yeah, I guess you could say they cost an arm and a leg, which wouldn't have been so bad if the guy wasn't a double amputee. He looked like a game of Hangman, your 2 wrong guesses from losing. By the way, shout out Hangman, my favorite fucked up children's game. Do you guys ever think about that? Like, why was that ever okay? We were in 1st grade and the teacher would more or less go, all right, I got a 7-letter word up here. And if you guys want to take a crack at it, try to guess a letter. Billy, you say Q? Ah, look what you did. Look at what you did. You know, before you guys think like I'm a bad person for making fun of an amputee, I want to let you know I totally made it up to the guy. I got him a nice gift as a peace offering. I was going to get him a prosthetic leg, but then I realized prosthetic legs are pretty expensive, so I went with the next best thing. I got him a stick and a vajankle. That's going to do it for me tonight, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, okay. Gabe Baldizzi, one more time. Yes.